Right now at 6, COVID testing is about to get a bit easier to get at home. What you need to know about the Biden administration's new policy and how community leaders are continuing their efforts to get everyone some high-quality masks. Plus, we're following a developing situation in Texas as a gunman holds a Jewish synagogue hostage during Shabbat services. That's all coming up at 6. Private health insurance companies are now required to help cover the cost of an at-home COVID test. The new policy takes effect today. Christina Laurie has answers to some of your questions.
Starting this weekend, millions of Americans are now able to get reimbursed for at-home COVID tests. But the new policy doesn't apply to everyone and every test. Right now, only people with private health insurance are eligible. But starting Wednesday, the Biden administration will open that up to everyone, launching a website where anyone can order free tests, which will be delivered to their homes in 7 to 12 days. The new policy applies to at-home rapid tests that cost $12 or less. You'll have to pay the difference if yours costs more. But since the policy applies to tests purchased at grocery stores, pharmacies, and online, you should be able to find tests within that price range.
Seeing how tough it was for some folks to get a test this weekend shows that we have more work to do.
Insured Americans are limited to 8 tests a month, or 40 for a family of 5. And right now, you can get your money back by making a claim with your insurer using the receipt from your purchase. The Biden administration says there are plans to make that process automatic without having to file a claim, but that's still in the works. Reporting in Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
Insurers are still required to pay for a COVID test administered at a testing site or a medical office, which can be about $100. And starting on Wednesday, everyone insured or not will be able to order 4 from the government's new website. Meanwhile, a company that claims to provide free COVID testing says it's shutting down for a week to retrain its staff. The Center for COVID Control is based in Illinois and has some pop-up locations in the Madison area. The closures come just days after the company's clinics received a long list of complaints and carries an F rating from the Better Business Bureau. The Alliant Energy Center's COVID testing site is closed this weekend. The site reopened this week for the first time in 6 months. Public health officials say they're already administering about 1,000 tests each day. They hope to be open on weekends beginning later this month. Public Health's website shows dozens of appointments are still available for Monday. We got some eye-popping numbers yesterday from DHS with nearly 20,000 new cases being reported. DHS says that's because it's doing some updates to its tracking system. Over the past week, Wisconsin is now averaging nearly 11,000 new cases each day. All 72 counties in the state are seeing critically high levels of transmission. Volunteers with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County are spending their weekend getting high-quality masking to our community. The club hosted a community meal and mask pickup this afternoon at 3 of their locations. Everyone who came received 10 N95 masks. Earlier this week, volunteers began distributing 225,000 masks to teachers and students in the Madison area.
Of course, people who are struggling to pay for meals are obviously struggling to pay for masks and hand sanitizer, so it's great to be able to provide all those things in one stop, and people get a hot meal and a mask and hand sanitizer to stay safe, and it's supporting our community and making sure our community is safe and well fed.
The Boys and Girls Club says it will also be handing out another 100,000 masks next week. And if you're looking to get outside this weekend, everyone is able to fish. This weekend is the DNR's free winter fishing weekend. No fishing license or trout and salmon stamps are required today or tomorrow. Officials say anglers can fish state waters where there is an open season. All other fishing regulations apply, of course, such as limits to the number and size of fish that you can actually keep. But if you're heading out on the ice, officials do ask that you please be careful. And it's a nice weekend outside, so meteorologist Austin Kovnitsky is going to join us now outside with your certified most accurate forecast.
And, outside it is one of those nights where we're seeing just light enough flurries where it actually looks so gorgeous outside, but it's not really enough to cause any concerns in terms of roadway issues for most of us. Our eastern communities may see a little bit more in terms of flurry action, but here in Madison, we are just seeing a few snowflakes. I can pretty much count them overhead right now. So so it's one of those nights. But if you do spend a little time outdoors over the next few hours, it's going to look pretty out there. 15 degrees here in Madison. Now, notice how we are seeing single digits for a lot of our northern communities. Even here in Madison around midnight, we are going to bottom out in those single digits. But then we're going to stay around those temperatures, if not increasing in the overnight hours. But what we're really watching out for right now, it's an alert day set for next Thursday. That's where we're expecting our coldest day of the forecast. It is going to remain quite chilly throughout the day. Here for tonight, partly cloudy skies, that chance of an evening flurry here and there, but a low of 7 degrees around midnight. Then we see steady temperatures. But what about afterwards? We have all the details on that alert day and also a snow chance for tomorrow. I'll have details on that coming up a little bit later on.
Thanks so much, Austin. Next at 6, a developing story out of Milwaukee. Police say an 8-year-old girl died today after being shot by a 47-year-old man. Officers did not say the relationship between the two people, but say criminal charges will be referred to the DA. And here in Madison, police are looking for a man they say fired a gun during an attempted car theft. This happened early this morning on the city's west side. Officers say the victim left a car running outside their home and had their garage door open. That's when the suspect tried to take the keys from inside the home. Police say the victim confronted the suspect and the suspect fired their gun before running off. No injuries were reported. And we've been working all afternoon to learn more about a scary situation in Texas. A gunman is holding hostages at a Jewish congregation in Colleyville. That's about 20 miles west of Dallas. The White House says it's watching this situation as the FBI says it's in contact with the suspect. At least 4 people are being held hostage, including a rabbi. Officials say the suspect involved is believed to be motivated by a case of a prisoner linked to terrorism. We'll have an update tonight after the NFL playoffs right here on News 3 Now. Police are investigating after a mass shooting overnight in Eugene, Oregon. This happened in the parking lot of a venue. Officers say 6 people were taken to the hospital and their conditions are currently unknown. Police there say they're still looking for the shooter. And we are looking ahead to Tuesday when the trial of Chandler Halderson will be set to resume. It's been delayed for 5 days after Halderson tested positive for COVID. The judge issued an order last night saying the trial will restart because the quarantine periods will have passed. Right now, no one else in the court has developed any symptoms. The delay could pose some challenges for both sides of this case, and many experts we have spoken with called this unprecedented. Tomorrow night at 10, we'll hear from a local defense attorney on what she expects to see happen next week.
The jury is going to have only heard the prosecution's version of events, and they'll be replaying that in their head until they start to hear new evidence. So I think it overemphasizes the state's case because it lets them sit with it for a long time without hearing any counter narrative.
Nicholson also told us while the law presumes jurors will follow instructions to not talk about or look up the case outside of the courtroom, humans naturally seek out information. She says this could affect the case when it does return next week. For the latest updates on the Halderson trial, make sure you have our Channel 3000 News app. It's free and available in the App Store. In more local news, people in Madison are getting a chance to enjoy winter weather today at Elver Park. The Madison Police Department hosted its first Winterfest event this morning. People there braved those cold temps for some sledding, hot cocoa, and ice skating. One officer says events like these are a way to reconnect with their community.
Because of COVID, we stopped doing a lot of the programming we would do. So we just started things of trying to get people out of the house. And we thought, why not do something with winter activities?
People also got to enjoy crafts, cookies, and s'mores. MPD says that it will post future events on social media. An Eau Claire hunter is going viral. Still ahead at 6, how he racked up much more than a deer this hunting season. And later, after a year of deadly shootings in Beloit, we're going to hear from community leaders trying to put an end to this violence. We'll have that story and more tonight after the NFL playoffs on CBS.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Some hunters near Eau Claire are earning internet fans for deciding to save two animals instead of killing them. Video of how they helped two bucks tangled together has racked up more than 20 million views. Leanne Stapleton has the details about this rescue.
On December 20th, Everett Sluga was on a casual drive and spotted something he'd never seen in person before.
When I got to about where we're standing right now, I thought that I saw a back of a deer. And I turned around and I couldn't understand why that deer didn't move. And when I turned around and then I saw there were two bucks locked up.
Two white-tailed bucks had their racks stuck together and could not break free. Sluga let the owners of the farmland know.
They were in the creek down here, and she actually jumped them up, and they got out in the CRP field. And then I told her right away there was no saving them in the field. We had to get them in the woods. So we kind of made a little drive, and we got them in the woods, which is where, you know, they kind of got locked down. They couldn't move, which is where we saved their lives.
Landowners Troy Rybarczyk and his wife Tammy are hunters themselves, but decided not to harvest the deer even though it was still hunting season.
I just didn't feel it was right shooting them in the situation they were in. It just didn't feel ethical to me, and I actually had my bow on them. And I pulled back on them, and I looked at Tammy. I said, I can't shoot these deer.
Instead, Rybarczyk grabbed his Milwaukee grinder out the back of his truck, cutting one antler off each, setting them free.
It's the only tool I had in my truck. It isn't the right tool for the job, but we didn't have time. I feared for both the deer's death.
In the spirit of a fair chase, John King with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources praises Rybarczyk's actions.
And this guy allowed them to enjoy a little bit of life and participate, in an ethic and a responsible way as a hunter. So I'm happy that he did this. It's a good story and good to see and hear.
If he had to do it all over again, Rybarczyk says he wouldn't change a thing.
I'm 100% positive we made the right decision by saving them rather than shooting them.
What a great story. The landowner says that he has seen the deer since the encounter and says they do look healthy. Well, coming up at 6, a look at incredible new photos of an underwater volcanic eruption. And we'll introduce you to a cat who's defying all the odds and looking for a brand new home. Plus, more chances for flurries before the work week. Austin has your latest forecast after the break.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone.
Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
It's time to pack your bags and enjoy a little break. During Steinhoffel's Winter Getaway Sale, get a 2-night hotel stay at any of these great hotels. Plus, save 35 to 50% store-wide on the largest selection of in-stock furniture and mattresses for every style and budget. Save big on some new furniture and take a vacation. It's the Steinhoffel's Winter Getaway Sale. Relax, it's Steinhoffel's and steinhoffels.com.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, cats are resilient. That's what the staff at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society are saying this weekend. Paul Stino introduces us to a cat that is really proving their point.
The pictures are graphic.
They could tell that he was in distress. There was blood around his jaw and on his face.
This cat was shot. His lower jaw almost completely blown off. He underwent surgery at Blue Pearl Pet Hospital in Appleton.
And what the doctor did is removed extra bone that was in there, bone fragment, removed diseased tissue, and then they shaped it and kind of gave him what looks like a fake jaw or just like a functioning lower half of his mandible by shaping with wire and just actually suturing that together.
Nowadays, Richie Cunningham, named after the character from Happy Days, is hanging out at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society.
All the while that he was enduring this process, though, Richie remained very lovable and happy and exhibiting normal cat behavior.
Tawana Hanneman is the medical director at the Humane Society. She does checkups on Richie and makes sure he is taking his medication. Hanneman says the surgery allows him to do things like eat and drink.
And that was our goal of the surgery, was to have him be a functioning cat.
And from eating.
So you can see that he uses his tongue, whereas a cat that had a lower jaw would actually use the lower jaw to help propel the food into their mouth.
To spending some quality time with the staff at the Humane Society. Richie is just like any other cat.
If anybody deserves someplace to live out his days in happiness and contentment sitting in the sun, it would be Richie Cunningham.
What an adorable cat. Richie had surgery in early November, spent some time at a foster home to recover, and then came to the Oshkosh Area Humane Society. Well, take a look at this. These are satellite photos from an underwater volcano erupting today in the island nation of Tonga. It triggered a tsunami advisory for the West Coast, including California and Washington. A tsunami was already observed in Hawaii, but no damage and only minor flooding has been reported. People living on the coast were asked to stay away from the beaches for most of today. And that we'll swing it over to Austin. Austin, I mean, did you see some of this today?
Oh, man, I did. And those radar images specifically, very, very interesting to see. Thankfully, as you mentioned, though, we haven't heard too many damage reports, but there is still a possibility to actually see a little bit of that over these next few hours still. So, of course, we're still going to monitor that, but we have our own issues to monitor over the next few days as well. Some flurries and maybe even some lighter snow showers for tomorrow afternoon. A milder Monday and Tuesday, and I really would highly recommend getting outside and enjoying that extra additional warmth because it's not going to last very long. And once we see that next cool down moving through afterwards, well, we are really going to see some bitter, cold conditions making their way here locally. Now, you take a look at our Doppler track, and this is actually part of that system that did race through yesterday, but it pretty much has run into a brick wall. You have this cold Arctic air slamming into another system coming up from the south, so you have a tropical mass of quite a bit of moisture and cold air in the back end, and this is going to race towards the east coast, likely going to bring quite a bit of some snowfall along the way, but it is not going to track towards us. We still could see a little bit of some light snowfall for tomorrow, but it's really not going to cause too many concerns, especially in the morning. We should be good to go. Those temperatures will cool down into the single digits briefly overnight, but then by the time you reach tomorrow, the lower 20s should return. Now, you take a look at our future track. It does show a few of those snow showers, some flurries that likely won't get picked up here on the future track, and that's going to continue. We're really not expecting too much, but with how cold the ground temperatures really are, there is still a possibility to see a few slick spots here and there, especially if you pick up a few tenths of an inch. Most of us are going to be below a half of an inch of snowfall. All of us are going to be below 1 inch of snowfall here with this next system. So what we're really watching out for, it is the blast of Arctic air on the back end of this forecast, really cooling things down. Bitter cold temperatures on Thursday, specifically those AM wind chill values about 10 to 20 degrees below zero. And even the high temperatures really are going to get hit pretty hard from this. Thursday's high only 9 degrees. So again, really enjoy what we have Monday and Tuesday with those upper 20s and low mid 30s actually moving through. It's not going to last very long. Currently outside, it's 15 degrees right now here in Madison, 18 in Janesville, but it's quite cool up north. 7 degrees right now in Wisconsin Dells and Watoma, 1 currently in Black River Falls. By the time we reach around midnight, that's whenever these temperatures really should start to steady out there for the rest of the night. Wind speeds really aren't too bad as well outside. It actually does feel pretty nice, but it is cold. You will need to actually bundle up most definitely. And then that extended forecast shows the alert day on Thursday. Really cold conditions here, especially compared to where we should be. Average high temperature is 27 degrees, and only 2 days are going to be at that or above. Otherwise, we are staying below average right there. And then I'm still watching out for those snow showers for tomorrow. Shouldn't cause too many concerns, but it's still something to watch out for.
Austin, whenever you have to describe it as, cold air blasting us, I mean, I'm not ready for it once again. I mean, it is just so cold.
Right, and then this one, unfortunately, this isn't going to be a quick dip in temperatures. The last half of this forecast really has those teens and 20s and even single digits at times. So it's going to be a prolonged period of cold there, Brad.
Goodness.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Austin. Well, Wild Card Weekend is finally here, and that means the Packers are not playing after the break. How the team is using some much-needed rest next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salon Paws.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salon Paws, it's good medicine.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Have you seen those small
careful with
the ice? Sorry, Missy.
Excuse me, could we?
Excuse me, I was wondering, could we... Bedroom.
Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy, but when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Who wants some dress shirts?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Be proactive about managing your symptoms by talking to your doctor about twice daily Xiidra like I did.
I prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
Ahead of the Hardison trial resuming next week, we'll recap the first few days of testimony and evidence.
Plus, we're going to be looking at your weekend forecast coming up, so join us tomorrow at 6:30.
It's watch and wait for the Packers this weekend. In holding the #1 seed, the Pack will face the lowest seed coming out of the NFC wildcard games. Right now, plenty of scenarios on who they might face in the divisional round. Well, in the meantime, it's about practicing and working on their own game. And this break, it also allows for several players to return from injuries or illness. So whoever the Packers face next weekend, they're going to have plenty of reinforcement.
It is great to see, guys out there in their uniform on the field. It's even more of a boost to their confidence and their energy, just, being out there on the field again and stuff like that. So, and then it's a boost to people around them just to see guys just back and everything. Hopefully, they can help us, make a run here.
And a couple AFC wildcard games taking place today. Right now, the Bengals and Raiders. At last check, the Bengals were up 26-16 late in the fourth. And later tonight, right here on News 3, is going to be the Patriots and Bills. Now, needless to say, things are just clicking for the Badger men's basketball team. For the second time this season, they're riding a 6-game win streak, and they only have 2 losses on the season. Well, the team's production and success, it's not just coming from one player. Whether it's a starter or someone off the bench, the Badgers are firing on all cylinders at the perfect time as they head into the second half of the regular season.
Whenever you play basketball at this level, especially in the Big Ten, the teams are so good, the players are good, the coaches are good, that other teams are going to throw a punch. Other teams are going to make a run, and we've done a great job of sticking together. When those punches are thrown, or they go on those runs, and then countering with our own runs.
It just shows you that not one player is the entire team. If either one of you guys were to have an off night, the other two would pick them up, and that's just how it goes with this team.
Now, in case you missed it last night, the Badger men's hockey team powered past Michigan State to win the series opener 5-2. That's also earning their first win over Michigan State this season. Matthew Desimphal scored twice. He leads the team right now with 6 goals. Well, the Badgers are going to go for the series sweep tonight. Puck drops at the Kohl Center at 8. Austin?
And we're still watching out for Thursday. That's going to be the main event that we're looking at right now here. The coldest temperature is currently expected on Thursday. AM wind chills between around 10 and 20 degrees below zero, but it's still going to stay quite cold even after that. Notice how we have some mild days here for Monday and Tuesday, but afterwards we see a cool down that really sticks for the end of this forecast. Unfortunately, that cold is just not going anywhere. But then watching out for tomorrow, a few of those afternoon flurries and lighter snow showers as well. One more reminder that we're really not expecting much overall snow with this. A dusting, few tenths of an inch. Most of us are going to be below a half of an inch of accumulation, and pretty much all of us are going to be below 1 inch of accumulation there. Drying out on Monday, but warming conditions. Tuesday, the warmest day at 34.
All right, that's all we have for right now. Remember, we'll be on late. The Bills and Pats will be playing.